Hello and welcome to Members on the Mic with the Troy Chamber of Commerce, where we connect with Troy Chamber members as they give us a glimpse into their company and share some of the business lessons they've learned along the way. Hi everyone, I'm Tara Thompson-Cusack, President and CEO of the Troy Chamber of Commerce, and I'm joined today by the lovely co-host and Vice President of the Chamber, Sheila Denstead.
Hello everyone.
First, I'd like to take a moment to say thank you to our presenting sponsor, Trion Solutions. Stay tuned for our first commercial break where you can learn how to rely on Trion. Sheila, we got a great show lined up today. Why don't you give us a glimpse of who we're meeting?
Oh, we absolutely do, and I'm very excited to let you know that today we have with us Mario Kiezi, President of M. Kiezi Investments, LLC, and now the owner of Oakland Mall.
Woohoo!
Mario is an entrepreneur who has extensive history of maximizing business opportunities in both retail operations and real estate development. He often refers to himself as a merchant by heart and developer by trade. A first-generation developer who started in real estate business in 2013, Mario has since shifted his focus to retail and real estate opportunities throughout Michigan and Ohio. He focuses on forward-thinking retail while acquiring, managing, and developing. To date, he has acquired and developed over 2 million square feet of commercial real estate.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's amazing.
Many of the properties Mario has purchased were under-occupied, but his tenacity paid off in spades, with all the properties now boasting 90% or greater occupancy across his portfolio. Congrats, that's fantastic. Mario's recent acquisition of Oakland Mall is amongst his largest to date. He and his team have big plans for the long forgotten. I'm sorry, I got to redo that. He and his team have big plans for the long-forgotten mall. Mario recently said, "My vision for the mall is an anti-mall. I want to introduce a modern way of shopping coupled with dining and entertainment, a place that appeals to all ages in a family environment," and something that I look forward to seeing soon.
Yeah, we saw some obviously we've seen some plans moving forward and we're just beyond excited. But, thanks for joining us, first of all. But I guess I wanted to start with the fact that, A, your background is absolutely spectacular and amazing. But why did you decide to go into, this is not like a normal career path. Why did you decide to go into real estate investing?
Sure. I just caught an eye for it and I actually started working with some of the QSRs or restaurants that I like to go to. And I was coming out of an exit of one of my companies, my first company.
What was that, if you don't mind me asking?
We had stores in Ohio.
Oh.
So we had state liquor stores is what they were in Northwest Ohio, in Oregon, Ohio, Holland, Ohio, Bowling Green, and Toledo, Ohio.
Wow.
And that's all we knew. So that's the merchant side of me. We worked there. We worked from morning till night and graduated from Sterling Heights High. I moved to Ohio right after that. We operated the stores and, it was about 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that explains your work ethic, because you are a hard worker and we all know that you hustle. So it's really interesting now knowing a little bit more of your background, how you brought that passion into real estate.
Yeah, for sure. And my first,
I was like,
What a face, real estate.
Well, because you're talking about from a merchant aspect, but now it's like I'm going into real estate. 2 million square feet. That's a lot, and it is a big change, though.
It is. So I went into real estate, immediately developed a passion for it. And when I went into real estate, I really learned it with my back against the wall. So I learned it my way. And my first half of my career, most of my projects were in Northwest Ohio, which kind of gave me an opportunity to get my feet wet.
Yeah.
Because over here, it's much more aggressive.
Bringing it to the better state. So
yeah. So coming to Detroit, it's a lot larger developers, institutional companies. So it's not easy to compete with those guys.
Yeah.
And when we came back, I just had I've had a really nice journey, and I think I have a niche of how I look at real estate and I've done so much volume that I know what I want, and I know what, really I just buy deeds. I call it I buy deeds. So there's only one of a kind deeds. And like you look at some of my recent acquisitions, Oakland Mall, I call it, you can argue it's the best real estate in Metro Detroit.
It's great.
I bought the Cirrus at Lakeside Mall, which is arguably the best corner in Sterling Heights. And really, I've spent the last 10 years of my portfolio building my portfolio on really great interest rates and coming out of the recession, which I didn't feel because I was in the liquor business at that time.
Yeah.
So people drank a lot.
Yeah,
that was a perfect industry for that time.
Yeah. So, we worked hard and I feel like this is my my calling. The Oakland Mall is going to be my calling.
Yeah.
So with that being said, how does one get a calling to purchase, say, a large mall in Metro Detroit? How did that happen?
So we purchased the Sears first.
Okay.
So the Sears was presented to me, and it was off market and never hit the market. And it's one of those sites that's like forgotten, because who thinks about a Sears store? Actually, that Sears store that was built was really the first block in building Metro Detroit. It was all farmlands, and they decided to build a store at that exact location in 1965. And then you can argue the city of Troy and the surrounding communities were built around that Sears store, because they were the powerhouse of their time.
It's actually a really great way of looking at it when you think about it.
Yeah, and I have aerials on that stuff, and it's amazing. So, when the Sears, I originally went to the site, like I had my developer's hat on, and, there was an at-home there, and we just wanted to fill it with traditional suburban tenants. And we actually signed a deal with Hobby Lobby. We signed a deal with Longhorn Steakhouse in a relatively quick manner. I try to do as much as possible quick, because I do a lot of volume. So I signed my Hobby Lobby lease essentially before I even close on the property.
Wow.
We have relationships with multiple tenants, and really it's the great real estate that, that we work on, where we just approach our tenants, and that's what happened with Hobby Lobby. So we were originally thinking, like, we're just going to do storage on the second floor and build some apartments in the back, and I never even looked at the mall. Honestly, yeah, it's like a lot of people. I mean, after 2000, the mall just, I think malls had a really rough period in early 2010s. Coming out of the recession, malls were struggling. And then online shopping is like a revolution, and then here we are today.
Yeah.
So I think that, I look at the project different. So going back to walking in there for the first time, I had a different eye walking into the mall than I did when I was a kid. By the way, when I was a kid, my family had a little ice cream store in the mall.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Called Antoine's Ice Cream.
Aw.
So I grew up in the mall. I actually credit my retail eye to being a young, there was no babysitters.
Yeah.
So we would.
So here's ice cream.
You're coming to work, So it wasn't, and that was a great time. It was, I think, early 2000s, late 90s. I actually found a document in the mall offices that had, my late father's name on it. So it was nice. It was, it's. I want to bring that back.
Yeah.
But we're
that's a framing piece. You should probably frame that.
Yeah, for sure. But so I went back to the mall, and I realized the first thing I loved about it was a single story mall. It reminded me that this is like going out of town and going to Chelsea Market or going to other places where it's like these buildings are turned into marketplaces. Well, I already have a marketplace. It's just, do people really want to go to these stores anymore? And we do have great stores. The mall's busy by default, in my opinion, and we're just going to enhance it.
So your Longhorn, have I heard that broke ground? Is that rumor true or no?
Yeah, they put their sign up already.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah, they're not going to open, though, until first quarter of next year.
Okay.
Wow.
I pushed them to open before the holiday, and
that would have been great. Yeah.
I can only do so much.
Yeah.
You're not busy at all.
No.
That's completely fine. Well, I think this is a great time to take a quick little break and hear a word from our presenting sponsor, Trion Solutions. We'll see you in a second.
There are things you can rely on in this world, like your dog being happy to see you, coffee getting you through the day, and the government changing business regulations. And when it comes to navigating those regulations, you can rely on Trion and its team of attorneys. Trion can also tackle time-consuming HR tasks like payroll and employee benefits, so you can stay focused on growing your business. With Trion, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTrion.com.
You can always rely on Trion.
Welcome back to Members on the Mic with the Troy Chamber of Commerce. We're here with Mario Kiezi. Okay, so now you own Oakland Mall. Let's imagine it 5 years from now. What does it look like?
Well, we've owned it for 6 months at this point.
So do we bet now? Do we say 4.5 years? I think we can still say 5 moving.
Sure. That's a great question. There's a lot of different steps and different categories that we're looking to achieve. And what I would say is food and entertainment are some of the initial things that we're looking to attack right away. A new facelift to the facade of it, that whole streetscape from 75.
Yeah.
Are things that we're looking to do initially. Adding food, adding bakery, sweets, adding commissaries.
Yay.
I mean,
I knew she would say that for that.
really just a marketplace of essential products that is in a more boutique, kind of like an Etsy mall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like an Etsy mall that has soap that's made by people, going back to the roots of America where people were making products.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of that in downtown Detroit workshops, and you see all these boutique, startups, but there's really not a place. Maybe there is. Maybe I'm just not tuned to it. But that whole demeanor hasn't been brought to the suburbs yet. And I feel like my facility will give entrepreneurs. Sorry to get off the track of the question.
this actually is painting the better picture.
So I want to give entrepreneurs a place where they could not only pop up and do business, but be successful. Troy is a great place to do business, and
Absolutely.
14 Mile and John R. is the pin drop of Ferndale, Royal Oak, Birmingham,
So easy
downtown
to get
Detroit.
to.
We're next to Madison Heights. We're next to Sterling Heights.
Yeah.
We have,
Virgin Diamond.
Oh, yeah.
and I say all the time, you can't get somebody from Macomb to Novi or Novi to Macomb, but you get somebody from Novi to Troy and Macomb to
Absolutely.
Troy very easily.
Yeah.
And Novi to Troy,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah, anywhere really. I
You're
mean,
the
even-
central point.
like good luck if you're in Ann Arbor and you want to get them to Macomb, you have to do something really special. But if it's in Troy, we'll make the trip.
Yeah.
You're in Toledo, we'll make the trip. Troy is well known. So going fast forward 5 years, I have concepts and I have thoughts that you will see in the next 12 months that will lay the foundation of things that we don't even know what we're going to do yet, because we really rely on the people, and the people have really helped me with some of the greatest ideas in the mall. But I can tell you, I want to see parks. We were just out with our architects on the Sears roof. The Sears roof was built and designed for 3 levels,
Oh.
but it only has 2 levels. And the architects told me that we can build a platform and we can build a 100,000 square foot park in the sky.
What?
In the sky. And put pickleball courts and basketball courts and swing sets and picnic tables and a bike
That would
trail
be
and maybe
incredible.
I said basketball, maybe some, skateboard, and who knows. But going back to the roots of everything everyone loves, but there's kind of some, like to have a park up there would be, I think, amazing.
I feel like you're bringing not just to a mall, but you're bringing a community together. Because if you're looking at those components, you're really looking at, hey, you're helping the entrepreneur be able to sell those goods. Like you said, people are making goods. We should be able to sell those. But you're bringing people to have their families come and have an environment where this is something very different from what we're used to hearing.
For sure. I'm actually looking to cater to moms more than anyone. Give them a break. Have them come to a place that's designed for children. I have 3 under 5, so I understand. I understand what I want my kids to enjoy, and I want everybody else's kids to enjoy it while my kids enjoy it. So, and then I'm also looking at community. I've learned as I've gone, and I'm really passionate about this project because I have sentimental value to it. It's close to home. It's fun. I wake up, I'm at the mall at 9 o'clock in the morning talking to mall walkers. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
And it's a passion.
Yeah. Well,
Awesome.
and I feel, I know we're going to take a break in a second, but one of those things too is, like you said, you brought it up about you're trying to appease for moms. You guys just did like a really cool campaign around Operation Backpack. And I remember seeing you passing out backpacks and seeing the smiles and the faces of the kids and also the parents alike. So you're already starting to make a mark in the community. And I think that to me is what's so inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It goes beyond that. We were just talking to an entertainment venue, and I was just recently in New York City, and they had a free public. The vessel was free, and now they charge $10. And I'm putting in entertainment at the mall, and I'm like, can I offer certain amount of tickets? So they offer certain amount of tickets every morning for free to people that can't afford to pay $10. So can I offer at the mall maybe an earlier hour or an hour that works with my eventual retailer entertainer, where we can give 1 hour of limited free tickets every day to people that can't afford to pay for entry? Or take it even further, there's a company called freewater.io, and that company takes ads and they place it on an aluminum or a box bottle of water, and that ad pays for the water. So imagine anybody who comes to the mall can have a free bottle of water. And those are the essentials and necessities of life, where you walk in. Imagine you walk in with a family of 5 and everybody just gets a bottle of water right off the rip. That's great.
Oh, it is.
And that's like a vision of mine, to create a sustainable facility that has necessities, no charge for ATMs. These are eventual goals that we want to get to that have people in mind.
Well, when you go back to families and you talk about some of the theme parks in the area and you talk about free water, people may laugh, but when you think about paying $6 a bottle of water in a family of 5, I mean, that's huge. And that's just a cool idea. And I just have to say, thinking about driving down 75 and seeing people playing on the roof of Sears, that's fun to think about. All right. Going back to our favorite segment, Tara, do you know?
Oh, should we do our segment? Did you know? I'm really excited about it. What are we going to learn today?
Well, we are going to learn how members can upgrade their membership at any time. This works especially well for new members who are new to the chamber world. After members have had an opportunity to learn about the many exclusive networking, marketing, and advertising opportunities available through the higher level memberships, they can upgrade their membership based on their needs to increase exposure within the Troy Chamber. Just reach out to me to learn more.
Well, that's good to know. And now you know, too. I really enjoy doing that. I like to do a point almost like, and you know. But Mario, we've all had people in our lives that help to guide us and get us on the right path. Do you have any mentors or people or things that have motivated you to go this path or just be the person that you are?
I would say that I grew up with an entrepreneurial spirit.
Mm-hmm.
My late father, I worked side by side with him at a young age, and I think that was instrumental for me in my, just learning a retail eye or hearing words of wisdom that later sunk in a little more than,
Not so much when you were at that age.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you might not think it sticks with you, but after a while it does. And so I would say my late father. I've had other mentors and people that develop that have mentored me in different ways. I've had, I had a attorney that was a former Supreme Court justice in Ohio who passed last year. His name was Justice Andy Douglas, and he took me in maybe 9 years ago, and he watched over me like a dad, and he was a mentor to me in many different ways. And I think that there's countless people because I always ask questions. I encourage others to ask questions.
Yeah, I love it.
Ask others questions, and I'm not afraid to pick up the phone and just call somebody and just pick their brain in a friendly way. In
a weird, twisted way, but you're so creative. Like, you are absolutely one of the most creative brains that I get to talk to sometimes. And tell me, were you always like this as a child? Like, were you more the creative, or did you really like the more entrepreneurial style? Like, how were you as a kid?
I would say,
I was like, I know that's a vague question, but it's so interesting. I just find you so interesting.
I actually think I have a void of my childhood because I work so much, So I think that some of my creativity is maybe the void of not having, I didn't play basketball in middle school or high school. I worked a lot. And I don't have any regrets, but I would say that growing up as a kid, I was always, maybe some of my friends would get annoyed because I talked too much business.
Oh, You're one of those guys.
Yeah. So,
well, but that seems now it's reflecting out of you today, like that creativity, that fun, that park, that remembering the ice cream shop, all of that. Now you're getting a little second chance to keep the business, but have that kind of childlike fun again.
I think my portfolio of the past wasn't that fun. It was a lot of suburban stuff, but I think that I've opened my eyes into what the future of retail is, and I think that we have the perfect platform for that. So I think my work to come, hopefully we get it all done, like the park, will be a testament of that creativity. It's really not even all my creativity. It's a lot of the people, and then they tell me, and then I like the idea. I just walked through the lobby of my office earlier. I just said hi to somebody that I try to brighten people. Like I say, good morning, or just say things that people don't typically say or in walking. And we just ended up talking to this lady, and she told me that there was a concept in Florida that's now closed. It's called, it was some sort of entertainment venue for kids where kids can dress up and do, there's a doctor's office where a kid can actually be a doctor, and or a grocery store where kids can actually check out. And I thought it was so fun and unique. Or, I've had people on my TikTok lives, and some of the things like a sensory room in the mall.
Yeah.
We're going to do that.
That's awesome.
And there's countless other things that that people have inspired us to do.
I love it.
Well, talking about platforms and different things, ventures, you've done a lot of different things in life. What's your favorite? What was your business or investment that was your favorite that you want to share with us?
I'm having more fun now than I've ever had.
All right. Great answer.
But I took joy in my suburban shopping center work, my work in Northwest Ohio, or my work turning a nasty, blighted building into it could have been, I did work with Krispy Kreme. We've done, I don't know why I said them, but maybe I want a donut.
I know. I wasn't complaining.
Now I do, so.
I did a deal with them in Toledo. We took an old oil change and we turned that into a Krispy Kreme, and I thought it was really nice to see families walking into a place. We've done deals with Panera. We've done deals with multiple retailers, and turning a vacant lot into a party city where now you have people going in there and getting their party supplies, or putting in an 8-unit shopping center, and now you have 8 businesses there, and what was dirt is now people sitting there and eating. It's not always about the money. A lot of times it's doing this local work, and, it's the crazy thing is because I'm 32, and it's like you close your eyes and then all of a sudden it's like after years and years, it makes a difference.
Yeah, it absolutely does. All right. So what would you say to entrepreneurs or investors that want to do what you do? Like what career advice what you have given yourself, I guess is the question.
I get that question a lot. I actually want to aspire to create some sort of entrepreneurial fair to allow people to learn. Here are options on what you can do, and here are ways you can do them. I think a lot of people are confused on what to do. Mm-hmm. The first part of your question is, how can they do what I do? It's hard. I've put so much sweat equity in, and I made a lot of mistakes to get to this point. It wasn't all flowers and roses and sunshine. We made mistakes, and we got through them. I would say find your passion, mm-hmm. put in your sweat equity, do what you love, be patient. But I think you have to think outside the box in today's world. I think that, if you want to be an entrepreneur, then there's different paths than what you were told. And maybe college is best for you. Maybe college is not best for you. I mean, you can, I don't want to discourage people from going to college, because I think college works for a lot of people. But mm-hmm. if you want to get out there and you want to start up a business or go make something and sell it, I mean, you can do that.
We have the ability to create our own destinies, and it doesn't have to fit into the mold that people believe in.
Absolutely.
I love it.
I wanted to ask you one last piece of advice for our listeners, but I think we just got that. So what can we look forward to seeing on 14 Mile and John R., say, in the next few weeks? Like, what holidays are coming up? What can we expect for that?
We have things we're
I almost got it.
Yeah, we're working on making sure this December is really fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that we're really learning. It takes a year to really learn any property that you own. 1 year, and I've owned it for 6 months. So I'm just being patient, and I think we're making the right moves. So I want some different experiences for the holiday, and it will look nicer from 75. We're going to light up the outside, which hasn't been done in a long time. And we have Santa, we have the Grinch, or we got to call him the Grouch.
Oh, yes.
We have the Grouch coming. Yeah.
Okay. It's green, just like him, but different. So
we have the Grouch coming, and, we brought in a TikTok. I flew in somebody from TikTok that had about almost 10 million followers and really beloved in the nationwide. And I think we're going to bring him back for Christmas and do some giveaways and
I love
have some fun. Yeah.
Yay.
It's all about the kids right now.
Absolutely.
I love it. Well, that is all we have here today at Members on the Mic with the Troy Chamber of Commerce. Special thanks to our guest, Mario. You are absolutely wonderful. It was just really great having you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
And also, I'd like to thank our presenting sponsor, Trion Solutions. For more information on upcoming events or how to join the Chamber, go to troychamber.com. Thanks, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.